Hello, everybody. Welcome to We Talk Sport. This is our first program. Obviously, some of you will know me. I'm Peter. I'm on all the other shows on this channel. This one is actually just me. That may change in the future. We'll have to wait and see. But basically, on this show, I just talk about sports and sport-related stuff in general. And today, I'm pretty much going to focus on two particular related subjects. And that's what I'll get to eventually. But obviously today, at least in England, which is where I'm based, we had some announcements to do with our national lockdown, which is currently going on, which means we may be getting people back in stadiums in the coming months, as long as everything goes to plan and there's no more outbreaks. But we'll have to see on that one. But I am not holding my breath because nothing generally goes to plan and it involves that many people. There's always likely to be an issue. Anyway, today's main subject is going to be this. And for those of you who are not aware, in English football, soccer, for those of you who are Americans, but basically we currently have had this introduced, which is called VAR, which is basically using television replays to check decisions. Now, something similar has been in place in cricket for quite a while, called Hawkeye. And in cricket, it's used to determine somebody's in or out, and that's it. Okay, it's a very strict set of guidelines that have to be met for a decision to be changed from what the on-field umpire, in cricket's case, tells you. Now, the issue is with this implementation in football, it is not set to just a yes or no thing. It's interpretation, and which is the reason I solely think it will never work, because it still comes down to somebody having to make a choice or a decision, because the referee or the referee back who's checking the VAR, it's still a person involved that's making the decision whether it's their interpretation of what they're seeing. And ultimately, a human being cannot be right 100% of the time. It's statistically impossible. It just doesn't happen, which means you're going to get issues and mistakes. And it's happened a lot already for various things. Bad interpretations, misreading of rules. Some of the rules are really bad anyway, but they are. But the issue has come where these things are not interpreted properly using the VAR technology, which means teams are getting things and others are not getting things, and ultimately people are missing out on potential finals, bonuses, monies. There's a whole bunch of things there's an issue with here. Now, where this technology does work is in goal line technology for football. Because like in the cricket, goal line technology is a very simple thing. It's a yes or a no. There's no human interaction there at all, literally. There's sensors and lasers all over the goal line. And if the ball completely crosses the goal line, the device goes off and it tells you. There is no interpretation there. That's purely a machine thing. And not had any issues with that so far. That's been pretty much 100% spot on. Unlike the VAR technology, which is at best 50-50, and that's at best, it's not good. But I figured I'd start with that one anyway. That particular subject. Obviously, for those of you who want to have your say and interpretations, you go for it. Okay? I'm here to have you tell me stuff, If you think I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong and you tell me why. That's all good. I'm open to dialogue. Because, it's how you learn stuff. Because if somebody out there can actually provide me evidence or show me this is working, then great. But I want evidence if you're going to come up with me something. I don't want you just giving an opinion. Opinion's great. I have opinions too. But if you want to change somebody's mind, you have to provide reasons why. And in my case, I like evidence. I'm a big fan of it. So that would be useful. But the other thing that's currently going on with this sport, football, is obviously you've got no fans in the stadiums at the moment due to the ongoing situation with COVID. And I'm just going to have a coffee, so spell that. Thank you. And basically, you've got no fans. And I personally think that really affects how the matches are played and what goes on. And I think it's off-putting for the players as well. Yes, they are used to training without people. However, football stadiums are great big things which are usually full of people and full of noise. It's what players are used to, in all honesty. And I think it must be very off-putting to play in a stadium like that where there's no people. I've been in empty football stadiums like those. It's eerily quiet. It's weird. So even if there's like 21 other people out on the pitch, because you include yourself as well, of course, that's separate as 22. But 21 people other than yourself out there. Also, technically, you got a ref and 2 linesmen. But it's nowhere near as noisy as what with people. So I do think it must be off-putting. And I think a lot of those players probably are looking forward to fans coming back in those stadiums. I also think some of them probably like not having fans there, because if you're playing really badly and you're not giving 100%, fans will always let you know that you'll be chanted at, hopefully not in a bad way, but as in, oi, you're not trying hard enough, buck up your ideas. I don't think anyone should be personally insulted, because no. But if you're not doing what you should be doing for your team, then the fans have a right to criticise you for it. But only for your sporting performance, nothing else. It's a very big thing on that one, because I am not a fan of people being bullied and picked on social media. It's not a thing. I don't like it in any aspect of life. And that includes celebrities, footballers, whoever it may be. I'm not a fan of it. Yes, people do stuff wrong. Absolutely do stuff wrong. But that's what the courts are for, if it's that bad. Otherwise, wait and see what happens. Don't think you know everything, because you probably don't. You have a right to express an opinion about a football match. Absolutely you do. But you don't have a right to turn around and call somebody a name, or just make an assumption about them. As a person, as a player, you can make an assumption as you didn't try that hard, you're not that good, or you're really bad. That's an opinion. It's not an insult, it's an opinion. That person can always prove you wrong at some point. But calling somebody a name, nah, not up for it. Don't agree with it. And would you like it if it was done to you? I don't think so. Because I know I certainly wouldn't. Okay. But obviously, you guys can let me know your opinions on those as well, because, like the opinions, because, it's like I said before, it's how you learn stuff. It's feedback. And feedback is a good thing. Let's see. So, imagine about through these quite quickly. I'm quite impressed with myself. I had to get quite a bit of time for this show, but it looks like I'm going to get through it very quickly. So, this show generally won't be as long as the other ones anyway, simply because of the format of it. Unless occasionally I have guests on or have people responding. Obviously, this being the first one, it's a bit different. It's just me, so it will be a bit shorter. So, but the other thing with currently what's going on is related to this sport here, cricket. Basically, you've currently got some of the cricket teams out around the world doing touring, and with COVID going on, all these teams are in what's known as an isolation bubble. They can't go places, they have to stick to certain things, and they are regularly tested. For people who want to watch sport, I think that's a great thing. I personally enjoy watching sport. I do. But I do think it probably sucks for them, because they're probably having to be away from their families and their friends for long periods of time, and it can't be good for them. So, fortunately, in the modern world, you have things like Skype, Zoom, FaceTime, Google Meets, stuff like that, and so you can easily keep in touch with people. But I think it must be hard, even if you're really rich celebrity or sports person, because we're all people after all, and we all have feelings. And I like to think that we wouldn't be reasonable and be unsafe to other people. Yeah, because to some people, you probably look at the England cricket team, for example, right now, who are currently in India doing a tour. The next match is Wednesday. And it probably looks like they're on vacation there, which I can understand that, but at the same time, they're restricted and in isolation, and they're not with their families either. I don't really call that vacation, because they can't do what they want. They literally have to play cricket and just stick within their social bubble. That's it. And if you risk breaking the bubble, you risk exposure, and you could possibly risk affecting other people. And I'm pretty sure none of them want to do that to their teammates or to any of the people surrounding that bubble. So I'd like to assume they're not going to do that. So, but one thing I would like to say before I do go, because I said I mentioned my this very quickly, is regardless of any opinion I give about sport, and trust me, I have loads, which you'll come to know as we go through more of these shows. I'd like to thank every sports person or woman of any race, creed, colour, ability for what they've been able to do during this time where we've not been able to do anything. They've kept us, as best they can, entertained, given us a distraction, something to enjoy. And I am a big fan of that, because I think life would have been so much worse over the past year or so if we didn't have things to keep us occupied, to keep us away from thinking about what's been going on, because it's not been a good year or so for most of the world. And it looks like, particularly here in this country, we're getting to a point where it might be getting better, but all of these sports people, pretty much through this time, the ones who can, have gone out and tried to keep us entertained, to keep us distracted, to bring hope and joy to people. And I respect that, regardless of my opinion of any of them, or any of the teams, any of the individuals, whatever it may be. I respect the fact that they've made a point to try and keep us all engaged and happy, and to keep us distracted away from this stuff. Obviously, it's probably helped them as well. And I don't have an issue with that, because if I was playing sport, I would want that too. Because for whatever long you're out there playing sport, everything else gets left behind. And you don't have to think about it until you come back. And I think we'd all like that, to be perfectly honest. It would be a nice thing, I believe, for people. To not have to talk, not have to dwell upon the last year or so, for the best example I can give. So, I know quite a few people would be quite happy just to get away from it all, and I don't blame them. So, but my biggest opinions so far for this show, to give a summary of it, and obviously you guys can let me know what you think. I think VAR should go. I don't think it's the solution to anything. I think it's fucking useless. Keep the goal line technology. That works. But VAR needs to fucking go. It doesn't benefit anyone at all. And if anything, it causes more resentment towards the people or the officials from fans and teams, because it's not done properly. And clearly it doesn't work. So they need to stop using it. That's my 2 cents anyway. So going to give you, this is a quick little burst obviously for today, but future episodes will be longer and there'll probably be more stuff involved. But I wanted to at least give you a platform to launch off for the first episode, an idea of the kind of things we'll do. Because it's not just the sports themselves. We're going to touch around surrounding subjects, things like VAR, things like social distancing bubbles, your experiences with sports and stuff. So, because I myself have a lot of experience with sports of various degrees. I nearly ended up playing professional sport when I was younger. It just didn't work out. Ultimately, I'm happy it didn't, but that's another story for another episode, I think. So, anyway, I will let you guys get on with your evening, and hopefully you get to enjoy yourself. I am also going to finish the rest of this coffee because it's lovely and I love coffee. So you lot will take care and enjoy. You will see me again Wednesday, where we'll get a double dose of me. Then we'll have the chill time, which will take place during the day. And then in the evening, as a normal time, you have sorting stuff. So all on this same channel, of course, you'll see us then. Let's see what else is there. I'm sure there is something else. Oh, yes. There's likely to be another 50-50 booking on Sunday due to how well it went on the weekend just gone. So we'll see about that. There most will be a new show Sunday. Saturday, not Sunday, on Saturday. So you guys keep an eye out of that. I'll probably talk more about that on Wednesday because I'll have more details about it then. So, and hopefully that will entertain and keep everyone happy. So, anyway, this is it now for today's Talk Sport. We talk sport, of course. Still got to get used to saying that because not there before. So we talk sport, and hopefully we will all talk about sport and give our views and reviews. And yes, that is something that's going to happen in future episodes. We will be looking at fixtures, games, players, and also the media's coverage of them. Because I do have some very strong opinions about the media coverage of professional sports. And with that, I will let you go about your day, and I will speak to you soon. I will see you out there. Also, just remember, my co-host on 50 Booking and on one of the guests that's usually on sorting stuff, we got Aaron, who's Care and Colours, is still doing the Rainbow Forfeit Challenge. So please give him lots of colours so he has to do the forfeits. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday. This Wednesday. I'll say adios, and let's wait for your opinion.